The reclaimed substation hums with its own deep breath, a low thrumming that vibrates through the floorboards. Outside, the city whispers in the language of chrome and kente cloth, but in here, war surplus tubes glow, casting long shadows across hand-labeled vinyl and Xeroxed manifestos. The air smells of ozone, cold coffee, and the electric spark of something new.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Across New York, the dial sits at 84 Fahrenheit under sunny. Winds are moving from the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. First up, the inclusive World Cup narrative crumbles under the weight of Trump-era travel bans, exposing fissures in global sporting promises.
Indeed, Togee. Human Rights Watch reported over 2,000 visa denials from 15 Muslim-majority nations ahead of the tournament, directly impacting fan groups and even accredited journalists. This move, rooted in the administration's protecting the nation from foreign terrorist entry into the United States policy, exposed FIFA's hollow Football for All pledge, enshrined in their 2026 bid document. A viable alternative would have been FIFA establishing a direct, humanitarian visa processing channel for accredited individuals, bypassing standard consular hurdles.
This isn't just about paperwork. It's a digital wall echoing historical no-go zones, making the global game feel like an exclusive club for certain nationalities. Who carries this next? The fan coalitions and human rights organizations like Amnesty International, who are now compiling a comprehensive dossier to challenge FIFA's future host nation selections based on human rights compliance. Their chosen next move is to present this dossier to the International Olympic Committee as a precedent for future mega events by early next year.
A faint static crackles like distant rain on a corrugated roof before the voice cuts through. Patching in a caller. You're on the signal.
Togee, this is Maya. While I understand the concern, wasn't the administration just prioritizing national security? What's the tangible cost of letting anyone in versus the security risk? Are human rights groups just soft on border control?
Maya, that's a crucial point, and it sharpens our focus. The perceived benefit of national security often comes at the tangible cost of dignity and universal access. It creates a precedent where participation in global culture is contingent on political alignment, eroding trust in international bodies. This tension between perceived security and fundamental human rights is a recurring theme. It pivots us directly to the internal architecture of power, specifically within political parties.
Cool down is when habits set. Swap the tiresome combo for a clean two-step people want to repeat.
From that dossier to this one, Andy Burnham promises to end Labour infighting as Andy Burnham has stepped up to lead Labour, promising to end the party's notorious infighting. Can he truly mend the rifts that have plagued the party for decades?
His ascension to Labour leader comes after a bruising leadership contest, where internal polling showed 45% of party members cited disunity as their primary concern, directly exposing the deep factionalism that hurt Labour in the last 2 general elections. Burnham's promise directly challenges the legacy of ideological divides, particularly the lingering friction between the party's Corbynite left and centrist wings. An alternative path would involve a formal, binding conflict resolution charter adopted at the party conference, mandating cross-factional representation in all shadow cabinet appointments.
The cultural weave here is thick, reminiscent of old tribal loyalties, where political identity often overshadowed collective purpose. This continuous internal struggle, a war of all against all, has become Labour's public brand, overshadowing policy. Who carries this legacy now? Burnham himself, whose chosen next move is launching a Unity Policy Commission to draft a consolidated economic platform by autumn, aiming to present a united front to the public, blending proposals from various factions.
Patching in a caller. Go ahead.
So Burnham just says, let's be friends and it's fixed? What's the real cost of this infighting to the average voter? And who pays if he fails again? We've seen this before, haven't we?
The cost, Marcus, is tangible. A lack of credible opposition, a public disillusioned with Westminster, and a weakening of democratic discourse. If he fails, the public, disillusioned by unfulfilled promises, ultimately pays the price through continued political stagnation. This constant search for resolution, for answers in the wilderness, reminds me of another long-standing mystery. From that dossier to this one, Peter Falconio murder, British expert says he has. Our final signal tonight. A British expert believes they've pinpointed the most likely burial location for Peter Falconio, murdered in the Australian outback back in 2001.
This development comes from Professor Sarah Evans, a British forensic geospatial analyst who used ground-penetrating radar data combined with witness statements and local ecological patterns to identify a specific 200-square-meter area within the Tanami Desert, roughly 150 kilometers west of Alice Springs. The discovery exposes the 23-year burden on the Falconio family and puts renewed pressure on the Northern Territory Police Cold Case Unit, who have long faced criticism for not recovering the body despite Bradley Murdoch's conviction. A viable alternative approach, had this technology been available earlier, could have involved systematic drone-based thermal imaging sweeps of large, remote sections of the suspected area, rather than relying solely on ground teams.
This isn't just a geographical coordinates, it's a potential anchor for closure, a mythic journey into the vast, indifferent landscape of the outback. The story of Falconio has become a modern folklore, a ghost in the red dust. The Falconio family, whose renewed hope is palpable, and the Australian Federal Police, who are now mandated to review the experts' findings. Their chosen next move is the Northern Territory Police, confirming they will launch a targeted search operation at the identified location within the next 3 months.
Callers on. Go ahead.
But how reliable is this expert? We've had so many theories over the years. What's the real cost of chasing these leads emotionally and financially, if it turns out to be another dead end?
The emotional cost for the Falconio family is immeasurable, a constant deferral of grief. The financial cost of an operation in the outback is substantial, but so is the cost of leaving a family in perpetual limbo, a civic architecture lacking resolution. We build resilient inner and civic architectures that favor consent, provenance, and dignity, using clear analysis to turn confusion into actionable vectors. Stay sovereign.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.